Dumbass. Hello, welcome down past the bridge in 173. Today we're talking about the Snag self-titled 12-inch that came out on September 24th of 2019. This would follow the Swallow's Nest split cassette that was released a year before, I guess. So the history goes back to before that, when I initially found out about Snag, reviewed them on my blog, became obsessed with the band when they released their first EP, also self-titled. Yeah, so it got a little confusing at first because you're like, oh, the Snag self-titled or the Snag self-titled. So we're talking about the Snag self-titled today. Anyway, so this was released on 200 copies between ZBR, Middleman Records, and Dason Records, who changed their name to something else, and I don't remember what it is anymore. Okay, what should we talk about first? Let's talk about the band. So, this is a three-piece band from Milwaukee, and all three of them do vocals. You got guitar, bass, drums. Excellent human beings. I definitely latched partially onto this. I mean, besides the obvious screamo, which is like Funeral Diner, Hawak, LaChance, maybe a little like Textbook Traders in there as well. But also because kind of the first band that seemed to really focus a fair amount of energy on climate anxiety and the climate crisis and all that kind of stuff, climate change, blah, blah, blah. So I found that something that I could really gravitate towards, as, you know, I'm sure it had been done, but I hadn't heard of any of those bands doing it. So to have screamo plus climate consciousness all together packed into one, I was like, fuck, yes, please. So yeah, they kind of are akin to those other bands, perhaps like Funeral Diner and Hawak, probably the most. It's it goes back and forth between really lush and beautiful, and that can include clean singing, violins, and other stuff, and just really fast and aggressive screamo as well. They recently had a split come out just as of the recording of this, like a month ago, on Middleman Records with Coma Regalia, obviously. So you should, if you haven't checked that out, check it out. It is absolutely fantastic, and yeah, it's the band's best material to date. Subsequently, after this record that we're about to talk about, they also released the Death Doula 12-inch LP, EP? I don't know. It's one-sided, I don't know. And then they are working on new material, so I'm guessing there might be a new record in 2024 or 25. This was done, like we said, between those three labels. They're all on black. I believe the art was done by the band because they always do their art, and their art is sick. This, to this day, is probably my favorite art that they've done. Although the Swallow's Nest split is also really sick. So the packaging is pretty elaborate. So there's the download code, which I've never used, so feel free to use that, someone. And you get your little numbered booklet, which is super cool, full color and everything. You've also got a book of matches, which I was actually worried that when sending these records overseas, and well, really even from Canada to the US, I was worried about them, you know, getting flagged at customs, but luckily that didn't happen, and now they're all sold out, so I don't need to worry about that. Because there was also a package of seeds, which I believe is also not kosher to be sending across the border. No one heard me, I don't think. So these are supposed to be, what was it, like insect-friendly seeds as well. So now that I've done this out past the rings, I'm gonna fucking use these things. So I'm gonna go plant these. Well, maybe I'll wait until a bit later. It's October now. So let's talk about the songs because they're fantastic. First of all, there's a music video for. Is it Fire Escape or is it Foam Cup? It's Foam Cup Part 2 has a music video, and that is also one of my favorite songs on this album, and probably one of my favorite songs that they've ever done. Just fantastic about foam cup. I guess they were driving behind a truck and a box of foam cups fell off the back of the truck and like smashed on the ground and just like poof, exploded like powder into the air, which, you know, not good. So there's that song, that video, absolutely fantastic. The first three songs are incredible. Flowers in the Springtime for David Bucket, Fire Escape, and Foam Cup Part 2. I'm also a very huge fan of Colony Collapse, so I think you should check that one out. It's all about bees and, you know, getting their basically heads messed up from chemicals or whatever, not being able to function properly, and they kind of sometimes forget where their hive is, and they just boom, goodbye. They don't ever return. This was also mastered by Will Killingsworth of Orchid Ampere fame, so I think that's probably worth noting. I don't think there's anything else really. So next will be the Low Men in Yellow Coats cassette that both ZBR and Tomb Tree released. So we finally bring back the Tomb Tree releases back into these videos, and they should be much more prevalent going forward. This was just a big space for whatever reason. So yeah, until then, please just excuse me for I have urgent matters to attend to.